Hello, good afternoon. This is Rahmaan, author and founder of the Child Support Hustle. I hope you guys are doing well this evening. I guess I should start saying author and founder of the Child Support and the Fatherless Hustle because I am talking about that more and incorporating, exposing the fatherless hustle that is going on that I have discovered over the years of my advocacy. So I'm writing about that more and talking about it more as the days go by. Uh, Welcome, and I hope everybody's doing well today. I'm doing fabulous. Thank you so much. It's hot, and I'm ready for some rain still. Last time I did a video, I was waiting on some rain, and we still haven't gotten any. So I just want to jump right in. I hope people join because I think every topic that I discuss, I try to pick topics that are not only interesting and that's going on right now, but also I want to provide information that I think needs to be discussed. Like I think are being ignored, need to be discussed. Hopefully, will be discussed, and hopefully bring about change that is needed. So I want to talk about the case that has been viral. I did a video about it before, and it's the one that's taking place down in Louisiana um, about the woman who's now 32, the mother, and she accused the father of her child um, of assaulting her, sexually assaulting her when she was 16. And as a result of the assault, they have a now 16-year-old daughter. You can find out more details about the case. I put the video in the description. But the case, the plot thickens, if you will, because as the story goes on, because like I said, it went viral, everybody was talking about it because the judge in the case ordered him to pay the mom child support. And so everybody was outraged about it because of this alleged statutory assault that happened back in 2005. So the question had came down to, was she actually a victim of assault, or the was the sexual, was it consensual? Now the question comes in, was it it couldn't have been consensual because she was a minor. That's undisputable. But he says that he met her at a bar. That's not disputed. They did meet at a bar, but and that he's saying that she had a fake ID. She said she was in college, and that they left together, and that they hooked up. That's what he's saying. So there's new updates on the case as to how he ended up getting the child, now 16, and having to pay her child support. So according to WBRZ, in April 20, now I want y'all to pay close attention to the dates that I'm talking about. And then I'll get into the reason for this video about the false accusations. In April 2013, John Barnes, and that's dad's name, started paying Krista Abelseth $428 in child support. In July 2015, Krista filed a police report for the 2005 alleged assault with the sheriff's office. The report sat unassigned for 7 years. The judge, Jeffrey Cash, CASHE, was assigned the case in August of 2015, not the criminal case, but the case because dad filed for split custody, and they reached the 6 month. They reached that after 6 months, and And Krista was ordered to pay Barnes $78.41, which that increased to $117.72 the next year. So there's no info about if they split the difference, who had to pay who the remainder of the child support, because remember, it was started out with him paying her $428. So nothing happened for years until December 2020. Barnes files a motion to modify custody, alleging that their daughter is allowed to have unsupervised visits at Krista's home with the boyfriend. A month later, the school counselor calls DCFS, alleging that Barnes physically and mentally abused their daughter. So the mom requested custody be limited. The judge denied the motion. November 2021, Barnes files a motion to have the mom held in contempt over a cell phone. That's why y'all keep hearing about the cell phone. I don't know exactly what the cell phone, why he didn't want the daughter having a cell phone, but that's where the contempt charge came in. So in February of 2022, the judge found that he found her in contempt over the phone and ordered her to pay $500, and that's where the support comes in. He also instructed her not to provide their daughter with the cell phone. And that same month, court records note for the first time that the child was conceived from the assault. So now they're talking about what happened in 2005. Then it's alleged that Barnes drugged and sexually assaulted their daughter on February 21st and 22nd of 2022. So did y'all follow that timeline? Not only is mom saying that he assaulted her back in 2005, but when this contempt of court charge comes up, and they called DCS on February 2nd, and then on February 21st and February 22nd, now they're saying that he's assaulting the child, his own daughter. Quote, this is from still the same source. She was transported to New Orleans hospital where she was evaluated, and the doctor confirmed that there was evidence of forced entry congruent with sexual assault, the document read. So that's what I want to discuss. I just wanted to break down the timeline and the fact that these are two assaults against this man who hasn't been arrested yet. So what if you want to find out more about the story, of course the descriptions are in the link. But and we're talking about it on Facebook as well. But to start, Barnes said that according to Fox News, that the assault was a complete lie. He said, quote, she was a liar. She was in a bar with a fake ID telling everyone she was a college student. I had no idea she was 16 and I didn't rape her. That's absolutely unequivocally false, end quote. If what he's saying is the truth, and at this point it's his word against hers. So what should be done to her if it comes out that she's lying? If what he's saying is true, should she suffer any consequences? Because this is viral now. So he's moved on with his life. This is 16 years later, and now she's not only accusing him of assaulting hers back then, which she's in a bar, so that's the first red flag. So why wouldn't we think that she had a fake ID? Why would we not believe his story? The second part is, if you look at the dates, his daughter is claiming I don't know if the mom or I don't know how this is going on because we don't have a lot of information, but now they're saying that he's assaulting his child. Those are some serious accusations. So if she is not telling the truth, the mother, what consequences should she face? Because right now there's really no consequences when women accuse men of sexual assault. As you can see, just in the media, everybody has just jumped to the conclusion that this lady is telling the truth, but on her word. We didn't even know what the man said, the father said. We didn't even look to see, but we knew that she pay him child support. She had custody of the child. But if he really did what she said that he did, where's the criminal record? Even if, and with the daughter, why is this man not arrested? So there's a lot of cases. I can't imagine how many of the ones that we don't know about where men have been accused of sexually assaulting women and they've been exonerated, and there's nothing that happens to them. And why that's dangerous is not only is unfair to the true victim, the men, but it's harmful to true victims when women are assaulted in real life, because you don't know who to believe if they are assaulted because there's these false charges. So I'm gonna discuss this one case real quick. I mean, there's a ton of them, and I was gonna go, I had 4 or 5, but I didn't want to, I'm trying not to do super long videos because it takes a lot of my time to research, and I just don't want to do that because I want to bring more videos because there's so much shit to talk about. So this first case is out of New York, and it was back in 1999, and this was a young guy, Van Dyke Perry, and he was 21. Gregory Counts was 19, and they were convicted in 1992 of rape, sodomy, and kidnapping. According to William Cummings from USA Today, Perry was released after 11 years and Counts after 26 years of imprisonment after DNA evidence and the accuser revised her original accusations. Cummings reported that the alleged victim claimed she was forced into a vehicle at knife point, raped by the two and another man multiple times, punched in her eye so hard that it swelled, and they were arrested. Later, the accuser, whose name mysteriously was missing from the article, so they didn't even say who she was. They didn't even, like, hey, look at her lying ass. She wasn't even mentioned. She said that her boyfriend admitted that the rape, quote, never happened. She said that her boyfriend admitted that the rape, quote, never happened. Wasn't there? She said that her boyfriend had pressured her to falsely accuse Perry and Counts. Okay, she admitted that the quote that it never happened and that her boyfriend had pressured her to falsely accuse Perry and Counts. So she didn't even take accountability of being a liar and convicting these men, or getting these men convicted for almost 40 years together. She blamed it on the boyfriend. And after that many years, if they were still together, which I highly doubt, she could have came forward 6 months up. She let them sit in prison all that time and then blamed him, that boyfriend. She didn't even own up to it. She was never charged because, according to Cummings, the statute of limitations had expired. I don't give a damn if they expired. She needs to go to jail. She needs to go to jail. And anybody that does anything like that, they need to go to jail. I try to look up the stats for false accusations and accusations, or any accusations at all, when it turned out to be false. And the most recent data that I found was from the DOJ, and that was published back in 2001. So they're not even keeping track of these false allegations. But according to the abstract, The date was based on an investigation from 1978 through 1987. But the case I just talked about was, like I said, in 1992. And there's a ton of them. You can look them up. They just don't publicize them like they just publicize this case. And we know why. Because one, she's a woman. And two, it was child support. When it's child support involved and a woman in assault, they're going to spread it all over. But if it's a man, they don't do that. Let me see. So I tried to find some articles or some kind of information to share with you guys, you men that's watching, to say, well, such and such says to do this if you're falsely accused, and such says to do that. And I found one article that did mention it, but before that, I want to go over why they say that the prosecutors mainly side with the people that say the false accusers, why they automatically jump on their side and don't believe when a man says, hey, she's lying. That's not what happened. Why they automatically believe the accuser or the liar first. They say, this is HQ.org admits that some prosecutors side with false accusers even after the evidence clearly reveals that the claim is false, because they believe that it could have been an honest mistake. It could have been a difference of opinion regarding consent, or it could have been a cry of help from someone suffering in other ways at the hands of the one they wrongfully accused. It could have been an honest mistake. Even if these reasons are true, the accuser is the one who is protected, which leaves the innocent victim vulnerable to all kinds of attacks that accompany when someone is accused of sexual assault. You'll see it every day. The person that's accused that comes out to be innocent is called and treated like a predator. They're like the young men, the college students that were accused of raping some girl, found innocent, but they were kicked out of school. Their whole reputation was ran through the mud. And because people are found guilty by public opinion, even if they're found innocent, there's going to be some people that are going to look at them and say that they did it. So who gives a damn if it was an honest mistake? So that's, again, protecting the accuser and not the true victim. In my opinion, that's not the victim or the false accusers. I'm sorry. In my opinion, that's not the victim's problem. I also feel that prosecuting false allegations could prevent what happened in New York from happening in other places. I'm sorry, you guys, I'm getting flustered because it's just so upsetting. And when I talk about these issues, like with men issues and me being a woman, recently, because I'm kind of back on social media, like I went back on Twitter, and even here when I talk about, I guess defending men, I've been called in the, like today and yesterday, I get called a couple of names. I had to look them up because I honestly didn't know what they meant. One was a misogynist and one was a pick-me. Now, misogynist, now I know, is somebody that basically doesn't like women. And I'm like, hello, I'm a woman. I love us. I love me. And the other one is a woman that like defends women because they want to be chose. Like it's sad, but then it's like what's going on in this society where trying to protect innocent people, no matter what gender they are, is you hating someone because of their gender. Like I have two brothers. I'm the only girl. So, and I'm the oldest. So I protect my brothers like I'm my brother's keeper. That's how I grew up. Like, yeah, my brothers, yeah, you mess with them, you gotta go through me, you know. So, and I have a father, like, and I have a son. So this is like if somebody falsely accused the men, I have a nephew, I have several nephews of doing these things. Like this is problematic. And not only that, this is problematic to society to find out that a man that did nothing, or a woman for that matter, and is in prison doing time for 26 fucking years for something they didn't do should bother everybody. That should bother everybody. It shouldn't be a name call or oh my God, you are favoring men and oh no, I favor justice. Like that doesn't like that doesn't make people sick to think that somebody's sitting in prison for 11 and 26 years just to find out that her boyfriend made her do it because they probably had some beef and she not going to jail for that shit. That So if that's what I'm saying, names don't hurt me. I'm a grown ass woman. You know, okay. I'm gonna pick me. I'm not a misogynist. The misogynist. I'm not that. I'm not gonna claim that. But that pick me shit. That's childish. Um, let me see. I'm sorry. I went off my. Y'all know when I go off my when I go off my little notes, I gotta find myself. So hold on. So, like the website says, and like we know, false reports of rape can be devastating to someone's life. They claim that once the person is found innocent of all charges, the jurisdiction will allow them to file a civil suit. But what happened to the gentlemen in New York who have collectively lost nearly 40 years of their lives on a false charge? Money's not going to make up that time. Even if they were awarded $20 million, they could die the next day. If they didn't have any children when they got locked up, they can't get 20 have children and get that 20 years back, the grandchildren that they could have had. So money, people say, well, sue. Money does not solve all things. So the lawyers, with all that great information that they provided, they tell men to do the following if they find themselves falsely accused of sexual assault. Immediately contact an attorney. That's it. That's the only thing they tell men to do. That's your only line of defense, fellas. That's the only line of defense. So they're here. Here's what I would suggest, and I'm going to tell my son this too. I don't know if they're going to listen. My son, my nephews, any man that listen, I'm saying this. Take a picture of the ID if you out kicking it, swinging it, and whatever. And you meet somebody, you don't know them, you don't know their background. Take a picture of their driver's license, ID, military ID, whatever. And if you know them and you're about to have, kick it with them, have something in your phone, a little contract to say that it's consensual. I know that sounds like a lot, but there's no protections for you. If you have sex and the lady later comes back and says that you assaulted her, you don't have anybody that's going to protect you. There's nothing. I'm telling you, y'all, in our research, till there's I spent out. My kids are worried about saying, "Mom, you need to get out. You need to go get some sunlight." I'm like, it's 100 degrees outside. I'm fine. But I mean, I'll just research, and then this is what I do. It's kind of fun for me just to look, shit up because I like knowing stuff. But this is stuff that people need to know. Like, how do you protect yourself? Because the people that get money off of this are not going to tell you. Like, this is their, because this is a lawyer website. Their advice to you, if you're falsely accused, is get a lawyer. Come hire me and I'll defend you, but not that much. So get some kind of document, like you agree to have consensual sex with me on this date at this time. You fill in the blank, and then have her sign it. Them now, the smartphones, you can have contracts and forms and shit and have them sign. Yeah, protect yourself, because one night you know you can be messed up for the rest of your life. You're 26 years and more. And ain't nothing, there's nothing that's going to happen to her. So there's a couple serious issues that this case in Louisiana has brought to light. One is that male victims of statutory rape who are forced to pay child support to their attackers do not matter as much as female victims. No surprise. In my last video that I did, I talked about those males who paid child support to their female rapists. And two, men have zero protections, even in 2022, against false sexual assault allegations. And that's sad. While it's extremely important to protect women against all types of assault, with sexual assault being at the very top of that list, it's extremely important to protect men against fake accusations of assault as well. We all deserve protection from fake allegations of any sort. I strongly believe that. And I mean, we are equal. A lot of people don't think that we are equal, but yeah, we are equal. Male, female, we're equal. So one doesn't deserve even more protection than the other person. And nobody, like I said earlier, deserves to go to prison for something that they didn't do. And if somebody falsely accuses them, their ass needs to go to prison. That's a crime. If you falsely accuse somebody of, I don't know, just whatever. You can't just falsely accuse somebody of doing something. And I'm sure that's like a misdemeanor, or at least. I didn't research that. But I know it's something. Somebody let me know and get back to me. I know that's got to be something. For those of us who do not ignore the life-altering results of false sexual assault accusations left on innocent men, we need to take this opportunity to make sure people who ignore this reality take note. Make them know, like, pay attention to this. When situations like this happen and they blow it up all over the news on something that they would never pay attention to, like they never paid attention to when those young boys, when they were statutorily assaulted and have to pay child support, we have to blow this up like, hey, you remember when such and such did this? And what about, the male victims of false accusations and they don't do anything? Blow that shit up. Make them pay attention. And then hopefully we can get some kind of legislation passed that says if you accuse a man of sexually assaulting you and it turns out to be false, you're going to jail. And secondly, they need to do an investigation before they even release anything to the public about a man being accused of assault. No arrest, none of that. Because lives are ruined on these fake allegations. So the police need to do their due diligence before they go in and just go on somebody's word. Let me see. Everyone deserves to be protected from predators, just like everyone deserves to be protected from predatory liars. Some people just they're liars. So That's it. I thank y'all for joining me. Click the likes, click the likes, click the likes. If you liked what I was talking about. And I'm going to go to the chat real quick. Thank y'all for joining me. Make sure you like and share. If you liked what I was talking about, please subscribe. Let me see. If you want a copy of my book, The Child Support Hustle, you can get it on my website, thechildsupporthustle.com. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, no, it's not. Domestic violence, too. I'm pretty sure I told this before. My son was out here. Long story short, because I'm gonna wrap it up, I went way longer than I was supposed to. Anyway, some young lady he was seeing out here accused him of beating her up, and I didn't know what was going on. I was in here, and so she was on the police. Your son going to jail, blah blah blah, and I'm like, and I forgot. And came in the house. I'm like, what happened? I know my son don't fight women. He's a very respectable young man. Um, and I'm like, go back out there. Well, anyway, when I came in the house, my dad was like, oh, check the camera. Have some cameras on, you guys. Ladies, too. If ladies are watching this, put some cameras. It might cost a little bit. Man, that's a good investment. If you don't have cameras on your house, man, put some cameras up. That shit pays for itself. I'm telling you. You don't just put them up and you don't even have to know they just there. And when the police came, she was on the phone lying on my son. He did this, he did that. I went right outside when I realized when dad said the camera was on. I went outside and strutted myself and said, and pointed up to the cameras. That girl eyes got that damn big. By the time the police got here, her story matched my son's story, and we pulled it right up on the thing that she was going to get arrested. My son said, "That's okay. We don't send people to jail. She don't do that shit no more. Next time she go over there messing with people, she gonna look all around their house to see if they got cameras, and if they do, she gonna take her ass on somewhere. Get them cameras, fellas and ladies." Yeah, they should be Shay Dollar. Yeah, they should be prosecuted. I would try. Who is that? Uh, Robert. I would try to press charges if they false try. I saw when I was doing this research, it was a father, the ex-wife. I can't say this if there was the ex-wife or the wife. I'm pretty sure it was an ex-wife, and she accused him of domestic violence or anyway. He won his case. He said she was lying on him, and he won some like almost $1 million against her or something. So shit, go take her, sue her ass, file charges on her. Like we gotta start fighting back. Dish, child support cases, all that kind of stuff. Start fighting them back. They don't expect us. I say us because we in this together. They don't expect us to fight back. Just like with my child support case, so many people told me there's nothing that I could do. I said I want that case closed. I don't want nothing to do with y'all. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. I said, oh, okay, you want to bet? And here we are, $30,000. He's not. He hasn't been in the child support system. I've been out here for six since 2006. So he haven't had any child support anything since 2006. So when they tell you you can't, yes you can fight them back. They expect you to, because what they say, you can't fight Uncle Sam or you can't fight. Yes you can. You can definitely fight back against these damn false accusers because they tear your life up. Child support too. We know. Because if y'all here because of something to do with child support. So I'm sure everybody know about child support and how they can tear your life up. Well, these false rape accusations tear lives up too, and nobody says shit. But yeah, that girl, she was about to hem my son up. Like if she would have got when she was out there on the phone telling, because she was telling me, your son going to jail. He beat me up. He did this. He did that, and I'm like, oh my God, no, well, I ain't say, oh my God, I was about to lie. I was like, my son ain't do that, and girl, you better get the out of here. So I come in the house, but yeah, she was about to try to get him on some DV stuff, and we had those cameras, so she was lying. But by the time them cops pulled up, she had straightened her story. They should have got her ass for lying. So I know, right? Let me see. And that's what Shay, what is that? Shade the dollar. There's no accountability. And if you go against what you're saying is just right. Just like it's not politically correct, I guess, for a woman to speak out again, like what I'm talking about. But I don't care about getting ridiculed. What's right is what's right, and what's wrong is what's wrong. And I'm not going to allow people to put me in a box or a category or label me. And what we have to do is social media has us like so kind of timid, you know what I'm saying, about what people's going to say. But in reality, we don't know these people. We don't know them. And I'm a former shy person. I know y'all can't tell, but yeah, I was very, worried about what people would say about me, and very like I wouldn't even do a radio interview the first 2-3 years when I was advocating. I wouldn't talk, I wouldn't do so. But look at me now. Except when it came to fighting for my rights. Now I could be very vocal then. But yeah, we got to start speaking now. Who cares what they think? The people on the internet breathe the same air that we do. Why is this right? There's no protection against liars. People will make up whatever the fuck they want. Then it's up to the man. That's what I'm saying, Robert. That's why I'm making this video. Yes, it's a bunch of crazy. Like, yeah, they've been doing it, and that's why, like, all this stuff. Well, not all everything I talk about, but the things that I want to talk about, and I'm gonna start talking about outside of child support. Of course, I'm gonna bring child support back in it because this is important too. Child support reform is important too. But like I can't oh thank you, Vin. Appreciate it. Like the money was saying, or the dollar was saying, there's no accountability, and people get ridiculed when they speak out about bullshit. But we got to start calling out the bullshit. And then these politicians sit up there all comfortable and don't do anything about shit like this. They need to pass legislation about false accusations. And when y'all look, if y'all go and look at that article, look at the timelines. Just look, because I when she was caught, and then accused the daughter, say he did that to his daughter. I'm I mm-mm. Right. You're right, Robert. And that's what I'm saying. That's a problem. We gotta do. I'm just saying we gotta protect, because we're adults, but we have young boys coming up, and there's always this talk about fatherless boys. These boys need their fathers, but these boys need to be protected as well. Whether the father is in wherever the father is, even if they have a father, that boy needs to be protected. And if he's going to grow up in what we have right now, he won't be protected, because men right now aren't protected. And that's a problem. So thank y'all so much for joining me today. I appreciate it. Like I said, you can go get my book, The Child Support Hustle, at thechildsupporthustle.com. I have a bunch of articles over there. I write about a bunch of different topics. If you want to go stop by. Facebook, that's the only, no, I'm on Twitter now. And I think if you go to community, wherever you can see the little pictures and stuff like that, I have my Twitter. Oh, I'm gonna go look it up right now. Because I don't have a lot of people on Twitter. I might not even have my thing. Oh, I want to put this up too. The description. But thank y'all so much. If y'all want to get in touch with me, if y'all have a question with your thank you, Vin. You take care as well. With your child support case, I don't work on individual cases anymore, but I will be more than happy to get you to the right place if I know where the right place is. And if you have a complaint that you want to file against your local agency, here is the link. So I'm gonna have to add my Twitter later, but let me see, Facebook here, and that's it. Everything else is in the description. If you want to send a gift, support freelance journalism, my Cash App is there and my Venmo is there. So other than that, thank you so much. I hope this this live was informative. I hope it gave you guys some information and just let you know that I rock with you guys, and I thank y'all for rocking with me. Thank you. Fight the power.